The process begins with light hitting the surface of a leaf, entering through the epidermis into the palisade mesophyll, where sunlight along with H2O and CO2 will be processed and turned into usable energy for the plant. If you were to cut a leaf down the center, this is what you'd see. On the very top is the cuticle, which prevents water evaporation. Underneath lays the upper epidermis, acting as a barrier between external environments and the plant. You see the vein, where the xylem and the phloem transport sugar and water, and on the very bottom you have a lower epidermis, along with the stroma that uses guard cells to help filter what comes in and out of the plant. Above the lower epidermis is the spongy mesophyll, which allows for the interchanges and the storage of gases like carbon dioxide. And lastly, above the spongy mesophyll is the palisade mesophyll.
Very well. Next, we have the palisade mesophyll. The palisade mesophyll is the next part of photosynthesis, and a pretty important one at that. Is arguably the most important one. The palisade mesophyll is located right beneath the epidermis and the cuticle. The epidermis is the surface epithelium of the skin, or the overlaying of the dermis. The cuticle is a protective and waxy or hard layer covering the epidermis of a plant, invertebrate, or shell. It contains a chloroplast with a chlorophyll. The main function of this cell is to help absorb sunlight. It also uses proteins to move chloroplasts around to get the maximum amount of sunlight. Next up is the chloroplast. It is mostly located in the palisade mesophyll with the exception of a few throughout the cytoplasm. The chloroplast includes an outer membrane, a granum, a lumen, thylakoids, a stoma, an inner membrane, etc. The chloroplast is made to convert sunlight energy into sugars that the cells use. Inside every chloroplast is a chlorophyll. They are not only there to help channel the sunlight light energy. Additionally, they are also there for the plant pigment. Hence, while the chloroplast is usually depicted in a green color.
The thylakoid is the last part of the light-dependent photosynthesis reaction. It's a sheet-like membrane-bound structure. It's in the chloroplast where the chlorophyll is, and the chlorophyll is in the thylakoid sacs. In the electron transport chain, in the thylakoid, when the light is absorbed and the electrons start moving around, they then move through the thylakoid membrane. The electrons get replaced by H2O, which is water. When they do, it gives energy for the active transport of the ions in the thylakoid. Building with concentration, the ions move outside the thylakoid and move through ATP synthase because of chemoosmosis. This then makes the ATP for the light-independent reaction, which is the Calvin cycle.
Finally, the Calvin cycle. The Calvin cycle is a separate light-independent reaction. Plants use this process to convert carbon dioxide into sugar. The CO2 enters through the leaf's stromata. It then diffuses in the stroma of the chloroplast, where the sugar is synthesized. This reaction is fueled by the product of the light-dependent reaction, ATP energy in the electron carriers and NADPH. This is the first thing in carbon fixation. The conversion of inorganic carbon dioxide to an organic carbon compound. Then is carbon reduction, where the organic molecule is reduced through ATP and NADPH. Finally, there is regeneration, where the molecule RUBP, ribulose biphosphate, a 5-carbon compound made in fixation, that starts the cycle is regenerated so that the cycle can begin once again.